Hello everyone, you're watching Global Leaders Network, WINTV. I'm your host, Yesayun. There are many leaders globally in areas such as government, non-for-profit organization, business, art industry, sports, etc. Global Leaders Network invites variety types of leaders and shares their wonderful stories. Today, I invited Consul General of Indonesia, Rosemalawati Chalid. How are you today?
Good, thank you. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Would you please introduce yourself and your role as a Consul General of Indonesia?
Okay, I'm actually an officer of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I've been in the ministry for 30 years now, and I was assigned as a Consul General here in Chicago in 2016, so it's been almost 3 years now. I've been in Chicago, and normally our term of duty is 3 years, so my term will finish the end of November. So, but in terms of the discharging the mandate of the consulate, I think it's not really a problem for everybody, for everyone at the ministry, because people will always come and go, and another consul general will also come, and there will always be, a continuity of the work. So the mission is almost the same.
Almost the same. What are the missions?
Well, the mission is we would like to strengthen the bilateral cooperation between Indonesia and the U.S., in particular between Indonesia and the Midwest area, because our consulate is covering the Midwest area, 12 states plus Kentucky. So that's on the economic side, it's on export and investment, and then also on the socio and cultural side, and this including education as well. So we would like to see more and more interactions between Indonesians and Americans. So another function that is also as important is the protection of our nationals here, and providing them with the services like, well, maybe you know about passport, and then visa also to the U.S. citizens, and all other documents for them.
I see. So how is the population of Indonesian, and what are the major industries?
The number of population in Indonesia is about 263 million, and that makes us the 4th largest population in the world. And we are very diverse population-wise. There are more than 1,300 ethnic groups in Indonesia, speaking about 1,700 languages and dialects. So we are very, very diverse in that case. And in terms of industries, I think Indonesia is now a better position than we were in 1998. That's when we had this economic crisis. And we are projected in 2030 to be the 7th largest economy in the world. We are a member of G20 organization. And in terms of industry, we have, I think, mining, and then oil, and then footwear, textile, rubber, electronics, and chemical fertilizers. We have quite a range of natural resources as well as industries in Indonesia. And we are now gearing towards the manufacturing industry. And that's why infrastructure is also a very important aspect of it, because of the nature of our country is archipelagic state.
I see. Would you mind to teach me how to say hello and thank you in Indonesia?
If you say hello, it's actually halo.
Halo.
Halo. Thank you is terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
It's very common also, when you say hello, they usually follow it up with apa kabar, how are you? Hello, how are you? Halo, apa kabar?
Apa kabar?
Apa kabar? Apa kabar?
Kabar.
Yes.
Apa kabar?
Yes.
Oh.
Apa
kabar.
Yes. You have a good pronunciation.
And hello is like a German.
Okay.
What is the official language of Indonesia?
It's Indonesian language because we have so many languages. So there's Indonesian language is a unifying language. So if you go to Indonesia, people used to talk in it's either their local language or it's Indonesian language. I, for myself, I speak Sundanese language at home, but I don't understand Javanese language. So it's very common for us, and it's taught at the elementary school that students have to study the local language as well as Indonesian language.
It's a personal question, but how many languages do you speak?
Well, I speak Indonesian language, of course, and then I speak Sundanese, that's it, and then English. But I was assigned to different countries before. My first assignment was in Rome, and I learned to speak Italian, and then second one was in Manila. I learned about Filipino, Tagalog, but there are so many similar words in with Indonesian language. So, and they use English quite widely. I mean, in all of the Philippines, I think. So language is not a problem for me during my stay there. And then I went to Beijing. I tried to learn Chinese, Mandarin. That was really, really hard. I gave up.
I totally understand. I learned Chinese too. I'm like, oh, totally different character, right?
Yes.
It's writing it like a drawing, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We have witnessed huge improvements of, Indonesia. I'm talking about the economic side. But however, what is the biggest challenge of the development of Indonesia?
You know, the nature of Indonesia is it's an archipelagic state. We have more than 17,000 islands, big and small, and some of them are uninhabited. So connectivity for us is really a challenge. And also how to balance development between islands, between provinces, and between cities and villages. So that's quite a challenge. So that's why the current government is focusing so much on infrastructure to build connectivities, among these islands. Not only hardware connectivity, but also software. Because if you want to build develop a nation together where nobody is left behind, then we have to provide equal opportunities also to all of the people. So that's why infrastructures are really a big challenge for us.
I see. I went to United Nations several weeks ago, right? And I met you there, and they were talking about UN development goal.
Yes.
What is the development goal of the UN for Indonesia currently?
Well, I mean, you are referring to the Sustainable Development Goals.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Well, SDGs is actually the continuation of the MDGs, the Millennium Development Goals, and there are targets to be achieved on MDGs as well as SDGs. In terms of the achievement on the MDGs, we have actually achieved, I think, quite a majority of the targets. But there are still targets that are not yet achieved yet. That's why we also incorporate them into SDGs, because SDGs, the components of SDGs are also from the MDGs. So like the number of poverty, for extreme poverty, we already succeeded in eliminating the extreme poverty, but not the poverty itself. I think the UN measure it as under MDGs is $1 a day. So we have achieved that, but now it's increased into $2 a day. We haven't been able to achieve that. And I think in terms of providing healthcare, access to healthcare, I think we have succeeded in that because the government has already enacted the provision that all citizens have equal access to healthcare. But the thing is, for the challenge is that with the access is now open wide to all populations, and then the hospitals are really full. And for those with the higher income, who wants to have this premium healthcare service, they prefer going to the private hospitals, the more expensive one, or abroad. So that's a challenge for us, is how to also provide, a more premium healthcare. And so we are working on that, and the government is really keen, because the goals under SDGs is actually in line, with our development goals. So we incorporate them into our midterm development planning, and also we also provide the legal basis for that, and also develop a national action plan, and also regional action plan, because we have a decentralized system of government, so that regional government should also be follow up, with the catch up with the targets set by the government, which is also incorporated into the SDGs. And I think as we are projected to be a more developed economy in the years to come, we also understand that we realize that on the importance of balancing between economic growth, sustainability, environmental sustainability, as well as social progress. So these three aspects are really important aspects of the SDGs that we also feel it's really important for us as a nation.
I see. You said that some of the rich people actually go to hospital abroad, right? So I was wondering, are they going to United States or even Korea?
Depends. Some of them go to Singapore, to Malaysia, to Korea, to China, to Japan, to the US. So I think depending on the condition and on the perception, about which country or which hospitals will receive, the best services probably for them. So we want to bring that back, because we feel that we are capable of doing. We have so many doctors who are professionally able, to do many things, and they are also, I think most of them also educated in different countries. So we want to bring them back, and that's why we need investment, in hospitals. We need to provide more alternatives for the people in terms of healthcare access.
I see. Then let's go back to United Nations.
Okay.
And not United Nations, I'm sorry for that. United States, because I heard that there are some challenges between Indonesia and the United States currently because of the Trump administration. So what are the challenges of current relationship of Indonesia and the United States?
Our formal relationship started in 1949 when the U.S. Recognized Indonesia's independence. Actually, we declared our independence in 1945. But then the Netherlands, that was a colonial power during that time, refused to recognize Indonesia, and they fought to go back to Indonesia, and we resisted, of course. And so there was a combination of military skirmishes between Indonesia and the Netherlands, as well as our way of fighting through the UN. And I think we are very grateful to the United States during that time, because the US, who was at that time an ally of the Netherlands, changed their position into supporting Indonesia. And that's why I think the role of the US during that time was very important in bringing those countries together in the UN to recognize Indonesia. So in the earlier stage, we have a good cooperation actually. But then I wouldn't say that under the current administration we have problems. We have challenges is always there, because like trade, for instance, this is an area that President Trump always mentioned that he would like to balance U.S. trade with other countries, including with Indonesia, because in terms of trade, the deficit is on the U.S. And we understand that we have to balance this trade for mutually beneficial cooperation. So that's why we work to address this trade deficit problem, and we bring our companies, our entrepreneurs, our business, also to the U.S. Just I think this year that our Minister for Trade came to Nebraska and brought along the companies who are interested in buying soybeans. And I think in 2018 we managed to reduce the deficit by 5%, I think, and we are still working, to have this issue addressed. And again, this is not about that. Some people think that this is Indonesia about the pressure for the U.S. It's not like that. It's like a soybean. We actually need the soybean for our own consumption. Indonesia is the second largest importer of U.S. soybean, and soybean is actually has become a staple food in Indonesia. I think in every house in Indonesia, if you heard about tempe, that is a food fermented from soybean, it's always on the table everywhere in Indonesia, even in the food stalls. It's very popular. So we are actually consuming so much of U.S. soybeans, and it's something that we need. So this is a good way of trading, because you can provide us what we need, and we could also offer you what you need. So it's mutually beneficial, two-way trade.
I just want to clarify this because personally, I like Trump administration, but I have to make sure that where you stand in terms of this, Another thing that I would like to ask is that the religion side, what are the religions that people believed in Indonesia? And also, do you see any conflicts among those religions?
Indonesians are predominantly Muslims. I think about 80% of us are Muslims. But there are other religions that are formally recognized, like Christians, Catholics, Buddhists, Hindus, and other beliefs as well. And we are lucky that we have holidays for these religious holidays. So we have Muslim holidays, we have Christians holiday, we have Hindus holiday. Of course, there are limits to that, of course. But it's how we celebrate our diversity. And actually, a culture of tolerance in Indonesia is already embedded in us, because again, we are so diverse. We have different ethnicities. We have religions that are also coming from different countries, like from China, from India, from Arabs, from the West, including. So there's a mix of culture and religions that make us, I think, unique, maybe like in the U.S. So that affects, the outlook of the people towards harmony. How we could live in harmony with the people. So when it comes to social and also religious activities, we are very tolerant. But sometimes, there's something like politics came in, and then they use this, this diversity to gain their own goals. So that's when conflicts can come. And we had that kind of conflicts before. And the most important thing is how we address this kind of potential conflicts or conflicts that arise. Right. So we work together on the community base, like the ulemas or the Muslims scholars or imams, and we work with the pastors. We work with the priests, to bring to understand the understanding to the people that this is not us. And they also emphasize the need of living in harmony like we used to before, because it was so common for us. Like I could mention one example in Maluku area, that's in the eastern part of Indonesia. It's very common that, in family they have different members of family who have different religions. And when one society would like to build a church, for instance, then the Muslims will help. And if the Muslims would like to build a mosque, and then the Christians will help. You know, so it's kind of practice that we cherish actually. And now the government also work hard, you know, to remind back the people, you know, of our traditions, about our culture, about the differences, about tolerance among us.
I see. Let's switch a little bit, you know, different subject, because you know what, people are thinking that we are talking about all day long politics and religion. Okay, I have a question to you. What do you do when you have a spare time?
Okay, you know, this is a new experience to me as a Consul General. I noticed that so many community activities are conducted during weekends because they work during weekdays. So we have these activities during Saturday or Sunday. So either I attended these events, or I could just walk around Chicago on different part of the Midwest area because there are so many interesting places to see here. And also sometimes I'm just watching Netflix or you know whatever are in you know popular, you know, and Chicago offers so many entertainments. I like you know going to music concerts. And there are plays here. Broadway is very so. Actually, there are so many things that I always do. You know, or sometimes I just stay at home if I feel tired, because traveling in the Midwest is also, you know, it's far away. And then, although as exciting as it is, still it's sometimes maybe I'm getting old, so I'm not that has that much energy like when I was
you're not
young.
old yet.
Yeah.
What is success to you then?
Well, success is measured by whether I achieve, you know, the goals given to me by the government as a Consul General, because there are always targets, there are always, you know, expectations from the capital, from Jakarta. For me, you know, this is what we have to achieve. So, yeah, that's success, I think.
What brings you happiness?
Happiness, well, you know, happiness is it's about perception, and you know, even if the most challenging time, if you can see, you can feel grateful for what you have, and then it's already happiness to me, because I think I understand that sometimes we don't get what we want. But we always have to find happiness, you know, even at the time. So I think a feeling of gratefulness is very important component of happiness. So yeah, I'm happy, you know, with, you know, I went to see my family and also, you know, meeting my friends and chatting with them. So, yeah.
Do you play any instruments?
Not really. Before, when I was saying I tried to, but well, I'm not into that. So, but I listen to music.
Oh, I see. I was going to ask you, let's do some performance together.
What kind of performance?
Because I'm a singer, so I thought that maybe you play something
no.
in the future.
You are a professional singer, and I'm not. I'm just listening to people who sing. So.
Yeah. Maybe then I can invite you to my singing concert in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Do you play any sports?
Before, yeah, I play volleyball. And I used to go swimming when I was young, but now I don't have much time anymore. So, and volleyball is for young people, I think.
Volleyball is really good. You know, you have
yeah,
to have energy.
I really enjoy it. Yeah, I played volleyball until university times. Yes. Yeah.
Professionally, then?
Not professional. It's just yeah, I'm a member of the university volleyball team. Yeah.
I see. I see. I'm sure that you're doing really great. You know, you're doing really great. Thank you so much for coming to our station today and also sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
and terima kasih.
You're very good. Well, thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you for watching Global Leaders Network. Today I learned the lesson, be grateful in any circumstance. So hope to see all of you next Thursday, 9 p.m. And until then, have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.